my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we, my babies? For those of you that keep on asking about the t-shirts, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I am so honored. I'm so grateful. They're coming. In the next 3 weeks, you are going to live and love because I got a surprise for you. You're going to what? You're going to live and love. All right, so what am I wearing? I am wearing an old dress, F Leger, and Ula bought me this in Beverly Hills, of which I absolutely live and love. That's the back, so it's, you know, it's a low back, and I absolutely love it. It's my happy era because we are going into spring, so that's why I'm wearing all of these beautiful, wonderful colors. Yesterday, I gave you a recap of which you guys thoroughly enjoyed, and you liked the little Poochie dress that I was wearing in that one as well. Needless to say, I talked about, you know, the backlash also that Bad Bunny received because all of the songs were in Spanish, that some people, Megyn Kelly, could not understand.
Sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language, officially the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out, but people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so you're trying to make official
this attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
We had Jill Zarin out here. It was all in Spanish. We could not understand. For those of you who will be asking, who is Jill Zarin? She used to be on The Real Housewives of New York until she was let go. But let us listen to what she has to say.
That it was the worst halftime show ever, and it's 250 years that we're celebrating right now in the United States, and I just don't think it was appropriate to have it in Spanish, and quite frankly, I didn't see him grabbing his, G area. I think it was totally inappropriate. You've got all these young kids watching the Super Bowl, and he doesn't have to be grabbing himself every 5 seconds. Is he so insecure? Seriously, I didn't understand it. I don't speak Spanish. I would have liked to have known the words he was saying. To me, it looked like a political statement because there were literally no white people in the entire thing. I think it was a political statement, and I'm not taking a side one way or the other. I just do. I think it was an ICE thing. And I just think that the NFL sold out, and it's very sad because 75 years, and, shame. Shame. And Lady Gaga got a facelift. I didn't recognize her. I literally had to Google her face to see who it was because we all couldn't agree who it was. So that was kind of fun in the middle of halftime. At least it gave me something to do because it was so hard to watch.
As if that was not enough, we had fabulous Bethenny Frankel. And she had something to say. And at that time, Jill Zarin had not gotten fired because her statement got her fired. I put that in my episode yesterday and I'll play it for you here. So we had Bethenny Frankel coming out here, and this is what she had to say. Okay, hold on. Let's play her.
The question remains, should these entertainment vehicles, whether the Grammys, the Emmys, the Oscars, the Super Bowl, should this be the place for personal, cultural, political views to be expressed? Certainly there are major world events that take place, whether COVID or tragedies, 9/11, and it's unavoidable that it's discussed. But where is the line? Whether it's Dave Chappelle expressing himself, Bad Bunny, years ago, Richard Gere getting into trouble, Billie Eilish at the Grammys, where's the line? Because Kelly Ripa and Mark, for example, are not, that show, no one's allowed to express any opinions about anything going on. They barely can discuss anything going on, you know? It's an entertainment vehicle, and they keep it that way. So I'm asking you, where is the line? You're welcome.
She brought this out when Jill Zarin came out talking her gibberish, yeah? When Jill Zarin now was fired, Bethenny Frankel came out to say this.
My take on Bad Bunny and his performance at the Super Bowl is that he is an artist expressing himself, his music, his experience as a Puerto Rican man in America. If it's a country artist, they're expressing their experience and sharing their music and their culture. If it's a hip-hop artist, I love Notorious B.I.G. and talking about his come up and his, you know, what he couldn't afford when he was eating sardines for dinner. So Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican man in America on the largest stage in the world, which is very inspirational to people because that is him expressing his experience in his first language. Madonna said it best, express yourself.
She came out with this after Jill had gotten fired, and she deleted her first comment. Bethenny Frankel, you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, and you're a coward. Jill Zarin also came out, oh, I took it down. We're allowed to make mistakes. I didn't know this, that, and the third. To the point that we have Zarin Fabrics, who came out with a very strong statement and said, we have not associated ourselves with Jill since the husband died because her husband had children prior to marrying Jill. To the point, her own daughter said, not a good idea, but she went ahead and she did it anyway. And then, of course, we saw Megyn Kelly spitting fire all over the place. She was just going on and on and on. You could just see the venom as far as I am concerned. So do you know what occurred to me? White America does not want us to win. White America does not want us to win. They don't want Black America, Latin America. They don't want Asian America. If you are not white, they do not want you to win. About 2 months ago, because I knew that the Academy Awards, the nominations were coming in, and me loving film, I would go back to all of the red carpets years back, from the 90s to the 80s. I used to look at all of them. And never before did I make the observation of how white the Academy Awards were. So white. And I never noticed it, because in many ways I was conditioned to believe that it was only for white, or that the whites were the best. Here's the thing. Not only are they not the best, but Black America, you're exceptional. Because the little that they give you, you excel under the circumstances of where you are at. I'm getting goose pimples. Look, whether you can see it. There you go. That's when the truth serum begins to kick in for me. Black America, you're exceptional. And you know what? White America sits in fear of you, because they know what they did and they know what their forefathers did. We will get into it in another conversation, but I just felt I had to say that. And so when you excel, the fear seeps into them and sits beside their guilt and their conscience, because they know what they did to you, and they think, if we give you too much influence, if we give you too much power, you will come for us and you'll eradicate us. Bad Bunny speaking in Spanish, somebody who has a clear conscience would have enjoyed the music. There are many artists of countries I have traveled. There are songs that I do not know the words to, and I love them. You know why? Because I have nothing dark in my heart for them. So I am not sitting nervously trying to understand if they are singing about me, if they're trying to plot and plan for my demise because of what I've done. It's only a guilty conscience that would say, I did not like it because we could not understand what they were saying. Bad Bunny came out here, and the culture, because you see, it's stolen land. America. There's no claim to any of this. It's the conscience. And somehow, ooh, I'm getting goose pimples all over my body. God, please. Ooh. 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 I don't know whether... Can you see? Look. All over my body. I can't explain it. It's as if something is taking me, is carrying me. And that's what this is. That's the truth. Until white America makes it right, there will be no peace in the United States of America, because we are not united. Our hearts tell us so. And that goes for Jill, that goes for Megyn Kelly, and that goes Bethenny Frankel. You know why? We'll give you only so much. But we don't want you to be better than us. We don't want you to be better than us. And you know what happened? The mask fell. They cover it up. But when they saw how phenomenal Bad Bunny was, and he really brought in the culture with the farmers working, all of that, and the electricity going off, and the little boy who was the smaller version of himself, and the wedding, and the little boy sleeping at parties. In Africa, it's the same thing. The children will fall asleep, but the parents are still there rocking and rolling. It's a rich culture of which America, white America, stole from so many countries. And they brought blacks, Africans, against their will and enslaved them. They still have to make that right. You know why? Because time keeps score. It keeps score. And that is why I live for Black America. You're better than us. You're better than all. Because against all odds, my God, you excel in music, you excel in sports, you excel across the board. We don't have that imperialism in Africa. I keep on saying it as fact. We don't have that extra pressure on top of what we're doing to be and become who we are. You do. Every step you take, every day, every hour of the day, they do to one, you know they can do to all. It came to me today and I said, Fumi, you know what? I'm going to call it like it is. It's the truth. The truth will set us free. The truth will be the beginning of healing. I pray that the generations to come, the white generations to come, will take accountability for what their fathers did and make it right in order for us to have a better world. In order for us, because it will not end any other way. Megyn, Jill, Bethenny, their masks fell. There was nothing about this halftime show, nothing negative to say other than fabulosity. That's all you had to say. And if you couldn't say that, shut up. They couldn't shut up. They're trying to convince us that we can't see and hear what we're seeing. And I didn't understand what Bad Bunny was saying. I didn't. But I lived and I loved it. Why? I lived in California. And if you live in California, it's just Latina. With the peppered mangoes, with the music. You see Latina all over. The women are are so beautiful. And the culture is so rich. And the way they carry themselves with pride. And they are the hardest workers. They're the hardest workers. Across the board. What's not to love? This administration really has shown me it's only to benefit them. And when you benefit from a system that does not work for others, that's what now? That's selfish. That's greed. And that's another agenda. That's all I got to say in this matter. I know some of them are going to unfollow me again. But I will still get to this million followers. I will. Anyway, my darlings, that's it. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you what? I'll see you sooner than later. This is the year of the horse, and this is the year of my truth. I don't feel like dancing around to make other people comfortable. I don't feel like keeping silent. I don't, because you're trying to keep peace. Yeah? Peace. But whose peace are you keeping? It's theirs, not ours. Something inside of me, I think as I'm approaching my 60s, I thought the 50s were fabulous. The 50s have been fabulous to me. But I think as I'm approaching my 60s, and my 60s sister said it, they said, Fumi, you wait till you hit your 60s. It's a completely different liberation. You just will not give an F. You just will not. You will call it like it is, and it's too bad. Oh, Fumi, you know what? I can't have this relationship with you. Let me hold the door. Out. I have an open door policy. You want to stay, stay. You want to go, bye. It is what it is. And I'm living for it. I have a platform and I'm going to use it and speak the truth. Black America, get it together. That's another thing before I go. Get it together. And when I tell you get it together, I mean start to be, what's the word? Intentional. Start to be intentional and be aware of those that are around you and open up. You'll be surprised who are also your allies. The time is coming. The time is coming. All of my love.